You're watching KGUN-9 on your side. News at 6.
Children taken from their homes for their own safety, but left with no immediate place to go. Because of our state's foster care crisis, CPS is sometimes left with no other choice than to let them sleep in state offices. Since Not on Your Side found out this was happening, we've been asking questions. Chief among them, how often does this happen? Tonight, an answer, sort of. Not on Your Side's Craig Smith continues our coverage with an explanation.
Jennifer, CPS has called for more foster parents, but has downplayed its practice of keeping kids in offices when it cannot find emergency foster space. The agency said all along it is rare to keep kids in offices. We asked them to back that up. We used the open records law. We asked how many kids and how many nights. It took the state 2 weeks to answer with this letter, and the answer was, we don't know. CPS says when it keeps kids in an office overnight, it's because the child is in danger at home and there's no emergency foster space. In late July, the CPS spokesperson told us that happens occasionally. The governor's spokesperson said it happens infrequently. That was far too vague. So we invoked the Arizona Open Records Law to ask how many kids, how many nights, and how many places. It took 2 weeks to get this letter. It concedes the state doesn't know because it didn't keep track.
I mean, you can't solve the problem if you don't know what the problem is. So,
State Senator Frank Antinori and other lawmakers are interested in working to solve CPS problems in an upcoming legislative session.
not having numbers that you ask for, which I think is quite simple to ask for. How many kids? How often does this happen? What's the frequency? And you know, what's the impact of it? I can't see how difficult that would be to provide that data and info.
State Senator Linda Gray heads the Senate committee that oversees CPS. She sees putting kids in offices as a sometimes necessary stopgap until more foster families are screened and trained.
But we do need more foster parents who are willing to take on the challenge of giving care and love forever to a child who doesn't have a family.
Beth Rosenberg of Children's Action Alliance echoes the call for more foster parents, but hopes lawmakers will restore money for health and counseling services.
Prevention services of that nature and other family support services are really critical to help provide services to families and to prevent kids from coming into care in the first place.
Now, CPS has a responsibility to keep track of kids, so naturally we asked CPS to explain why they would not keep track of kids in their own offices. When we asked, we got a call from the man who handles open records requests. He had no control of whether records were kept on those office visits, so we still do not have that answer.
I know we'll keep looking for it, but the good news here is that all of this has resulted in more parents being interested in becoming foster families.
It really has done that, but one of the things parents need to know is they need to commit and commit soon, because it takes between 4 and 6 months to get them screened and trained up and ready to take in those kids.
It is a process. All right, Craig, thank you. Now, here at Not on Your Side, we do give you, our viewers, a voice, and we'd like to hear from you on this. Do you think CPS has been sufficiently open with the public in explaining the issues of foster children occasionally having to sleep in office buildings due to the lack of foster homes? To sound off, go to our website, KGUN9.com, and answer our question of the day.